Well, next up on the stage, if you have success in your career, very often you are waiting for success in your love life. So I'm going to bring up a love expert, Amari Ice. And Amari's book, we'll share with people here, Lasting Love at Last. I'm going to give you a hug. So this is the gay guide to catching and keeping the man of your dreams. Tell us about this book and why you are the one to write it.
Sure. Well, as you said, it's the manual for locating love that lasts for gay guys, single gay men who are interested in being in
Grindr was not the answer?
Grindr is rarely the answer.
Okay.
So the book covers 4 different phases of relationships: preparing for relationships, dating, commitment, and also sustaining a relationship once you get into it. Because a lot of people have issues in all 4 of those areas. So I made sure to cover all 4 to give people the whole gamut of how to really catch and keep the man of their dreams.
I love it. Why for you did you pick this book, this topic, or did it pick you? How did the idea come to you?
That's a great question. It definitely picked me. So I'd been working with gay men for the past decade, coaching, empowerment, and I'd like to give clients books or other resources to take back because you're not going to remember everything that happens in a session. And so I look for books to give to clients, and I found hundreds, maybe 1,000 books on straight relationships, about 20 gay relationship books. But the only one that I found that was written by a Black gay man is the one that I wrote. So
wow.
Yeah.
You never told me that before. That's amazing.
Yep.
That is awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about, I'm going to pick a question from, let's go with Janet from New York City. Janet says, what are the 3 most important things you should do before you start writing? What are they?
That's an awesome question, Janet.
I don't know why it has to be 3. I'll take
3.
even 1. What do you got? What are you glad you did before you started writing?
The first is to definitely know who you're talking to. Who are you writing this book for? Who's your ideal reader? If you make it specific, it's going to connect with so many more people versus if you think you are going to do a book that just appeals to everybody, it's probably not going to appeal to everybody. So have one person in mind that you're writing your book to and make it a love letter to that person. The second thing is to get everything out of your head. So think of all the different sections or subjects you want to be in your book and literally just do a brain dump and put everything onto paper and then organize it by what's most logical to talk about first. And the third is to actually sit down and write the book. So those are the 3 most important things. Know who you're talking to, get everything out in terms of organizing your thoughts, and then sit down and do the work of writing it.
And Cherish is actually worried about completing her book. Were there ever moments you were afraid of not finishing? And if somebody was afraid of not finishing, what would you tell them? What helped you get to the end?
I don't know that I was afraid of finishing the book as much as once the book was finished, like, who do you have to become to write this book? And I think that keeps a lot of people from actually finishing their books. You have to become the person who wrote the book in order to write the book. And there were times where I definitely had like thoughts of, do I know enough, right? Like, is this gonna be good enough for people to actually use like my clients do? All of that. But then I realized nothing's ever finished. And it's not about making it perfect. It's about getting it done. Because you can always write another book because you're always going to develop. You're always going to grow. Things are always going to evolve. And so you totally might be in a different space 5 years from now than you were when you originally wrote the book. And that just means it's time to write another book. But if you never...
A year from now.
Right, a year from now. If you never sit down and write it, if you never put it out there, it'll never get done, and nobody will ever benefit from the genius that you do have.
Totally. So I want to ask a related question, but very specific to you, because I know yesterday you left your job. Your business as a love coach, a relationship coach, has been growing. And Cynthia from Wakefield, Virginia, is saying she wanted to know more about doing a book launch. this is obviously part of our book launch, so look at what we're doing here. But I think you had your own little book launch party last night, didn't you?
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about how you put that together and how you're leveraging your current community as you build your new business?
Sure. So I've been working with gay men, specifically Black and Latino gay men at my job. So I worked for a hospital system and did empowerment groups. I did coaching, weekly events and activities. And also like HIV testing and STD testing and such. So I thought it would be a great idea to use the book to get more people into our clinic. So we actually held my pre-launch party at our Rainbow Tuesday clinic. And we emailed everybody on our list. We did a whole lot of advertising to really get people into that space. So we have a separate space where we do events from our clinic, obviously. But we really
That's
want
a great party.
Yeah.
Come to the clinic. We'll draw your blood while we play music.
Absolutely. So we got everybody to come from our regular event space to the clinic. And we also offered testing because it happened to be National HIV Testing Day on Tuesday when we did the launch party. So, just making sure you get the word out and really thinking about what's in it for them. So sure, it's your book launch, but highlight how your book is going to benefit the people who you want to attend and really think about what they need and what they want and how you can help them. And
I feel like you've been paying attention.
I've also been doing this for a decade, so it helps.
So good. So this is the thing I want to say to you, Cynthia, is that there is a community you're part of. You may not even realize it. It could be the PTA at your kid's school or your church or your work or some group of high school leaders that you're doing your 20-year anniversary with. But there is a community you're part of that can help you with your book launch. You've done that so beautifully, and I know this book has already impacted hundreds of people in our area. Now it's going to affect people around the world. And so if you know someone who is looking for lasting love at last, it makes me want to break into Etta James. Feel like I'm going to hit you with a little at last. But it's the gay guide to catching and keeping the man of your dreams by Amari Ice. Thank you so much for joining me on the red carpet.
Thank you
And
for having me.
congratulations on your book.